Hi, Sumit. How are you doing?
Hi, Jamie. I'm good. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for joining today. I know a lot of people have been asking us to make this video, so I'm really interested to hear your views on the subject. But we're going to talk about archiving, specifically controlling SAP data. So, do you mind giving us a quick overview of during the course of the video why do this? Why is it so important? And it is really important. Some of the technical aspects, for if I'm on particular versions of Vim, how does that affect me? And then I think we could sort of go into some of the implications, further down the line. If you've already started this project, where might you end up? So, do you mind giving us an overview of archiving as a process and as a way of working?
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. I think this is a quite interesting topic, and this topic is also quite not taken seriously in many organization. But now with this all the cloud or SAP Rise projects that all the customers are going for S/4HANA, I think it's quite important to understand this archiving concept and how this is useful for their long-term savings as well as easier upgrades. Because with SAP Rise, you get auto upgrades, and there are from SAP side also a lot of push is there to have the clean core principles. What does that mean is that your SAP core is clean, so that whenever there is an upgrade, you are basically as a cloud subscription model, you are in that model. So when they upgrade, the upgrade should be easier. So be everyone is focused on keeping the clean core, but one part they often forget is that the size of the database. So that might also have an impact when you are doing such upgrades, and when you would like that apart from your clean core, your data cleaning sizing is the right to make these upgrades even more easier.
And
So
what happens if you don't take this approach? If you're working without a clean core, I don't know what the term is. Is there a term for non-clean core?
yeah, that's not
Is that it?
yes, it's not clean core.
Okay. And what's the implication of this then if you don't work with clean core?
The implications are because now, for example, like how our apps upgrade. So there is an upgrade in the app. We go to our app store. We see that there is some new version. We click on the app and it upgrades automatically. So now, based on this same cloud philosophy that SAP has come up, that they are encouraging customers to join them as a RISE customer. SAP is for RISE. And what happens is once they are in there, then all the infrastructure basis activities which were previously handled by the customers themselves, now they are being managed by SAP. And there is a combined license fee for the SAP license as well as managing all these infra services. Now, when everything is managed by SAP wants that all the customers they stick more close to the standard. So there are less custom objects created, less custom Z objects, Z tables, which would help that whenever they are just upgrading. Now, in traditional upgrade for SAP, there was a big process. It was a big project. So there was lot of objects that has been modified by the customers themselves to suit their requirements. So there was a whenever they used to upgrade, there was a downtime. Then they used to do SPAO, SPDD, which are the process involved in realignment of the standard code where they have done some changes, because with this upgrade there are some code changes in the standard code, so they need to realign everything. And this process used to take a lot of time. So until the time that this upgrade started from development to production, already they were lagging behind because this was a big project. It used to be a big time consuming, lot of money for the customers. Now, having this clean core approach by SAP, when we keep the core of the SAP clean, which means we make less custom objects or no modification in the SAP standard code, it is quite easy to upgrade. Because in this rapid technology, like where AI and everything is coming, everyone wants to be at the forefront. They want to be at the forefront with even their competitors. They don't want to lag behind with the
Yeah.
functionalities or features that they can offer to their customers. So it is quite important to keep the core clean, but also very, very important that their database size is in check. They're paying the right this subscription fees to SAP for managing their license as well as their infrastructure services. And that will happen when they will also include with their clean core approach this archiving strategy for their data as well as documents. So that will keep their database size in check. And whenever they will upgrade, their code is clean as well as their data is in good shape, that it could be converted, upgraded with quite ease and less effort. The
Okay,
timeline will decrease here.
cool. So can you talk me through that archiving strategy that you mentioned, um, and just give me a few examples of where you see the benefits?
Yes. So we have also with Turnpikes, there are some customers who have come to us when they realize that there's what happens like the disk when they this in this S4 clean core or SAP RISE customers. So whenever your database size increases, you need to buy extra blocks of space, and that then increases their fees. So they have come to us like that. We have just rolled out to few countries, and we are already like out of the space, and our we are in the next tier of SAP where the fees increases. Like in the subscription model, we move up the tier, and once you move up the tier, you cannot move down. So then you have to pay that fees. So what we had noticed is basically there are many archiving strategy that the company can follow. The one is especially related to all the logs which are generated in system. So there are workflows now in S4 also. There are flexible workflows. There are Vim workflows. Then there are many other approval workflows which are there in the system. So these workflows are nothing but they are ensuring that the right document is sent to the right person, and then the approval or the action is taken in good time frame that the documents are posted. But once documents are posted, these logs or history are also available in SAP against those documents. So these workflows, once they are completed, they can consume a lot of space in your system. Not just idocs, then there are some system log tables, then there are idocs. So these are kind of low hanging fruits to start with in any archiving strategy. Then comes another important thing is that we should not attach any attachments either to purchase order, sales order. There are so many documents in SAP, billing documents, invoice uh, to SAP database. So we should have some archiving or content server where all these documents will flow once they are attached. So they are archived and attached so that they don't consume the SAP GOS table, which are nothing but generic object services, where all this data then gets dumped and the size increases quite a lot and it becomes serious.
And when we say it becomes serious, I'm presuming, given the size of documents that could appear without you really knowing, unless you're actively managing it, which, let's be honest, who's got the time to do that? That can happen really quickly, right?
Yes, this is what I said. Like some of our customers said they had a planned rollout for 10 countries, and just after one or two rollout, they're seeing like this database growth is quite high. And then we noticed that yes, the documents were not archived and sent to the archive server. Then the data base for all these log tables, when we try to study their system. So in SAP, what are your large database size tables? In those, like we could see the list of all this workflow and system log tables popping up in the top 10, which like could in SAP also recommend that in best practice, we should archive all these log tables which are 3 months or like maybe 6 months more older than this and which are completed. So keeping these strategies in check, it will ensure that your database size, your system health is in good shape.
Yeah, and I think the point you made, I often take this thing back to the key thing, which is how much does stuff cost? Like, let's be really honest about how businesses work. That's always going to be a factor. And your key point that I really want to expand on is if you go up that tier, you can't come back down. So you have to do this now. There's no,
Right.
it's not going to give you the benefit of going back down. So you have to do it now. And do you feel that a lot of companies are aware of the size of the database in their SAP data?
They become aware once like they are move up to the tier.
Yeah,
Until then,
yeah,
then they realize, okay, now we have moved up, so something is wrong.
yeah, yeah. I can imagine that conversation in the boardroom. Why is this cost gone up? Yeah,
So
we've
instead
got
of
some
reactive,
documents
they should
attached.
be right. So instead
Yeah.
of reactive, they should be proactive in archiving strategy.
So how would you recommend to someone who isn't currently looking at this to get going? What's the first step aside from hiring Turnpikes, which we all know is the answer? But what's the first step?
The first step is always to include in their like whenever they are going for clean core approach or when they are moving to SAP Rise, always have this archiving strategy in mind that we should also have this in place. Try to get the archive and content servers where documents, all the documents will go. Don't go for generic object services where the documents like will be attached and saved in the SAP database. So these are the first few things to keep in mind. And then yes, like they should include even in their first rollout some archiving as well as this document management task or list.
Okay. And at a more technical level, what are the things, you've been hands-on with so many companies doing this. So what are the potential pitfalls that people don't see coming, or the mistakes that you see commonly made that you end up sort of stepping in and addressing?
Yeah, the most common is that it is assumed that the documents are like going to archive. There are some like user trainings to click the right, like especially with now Fiori and all those things. It is important that where the documents are going. And second thing is that always making sure that what are your workflows which are activated. So there are many flexible workflows which are active out of the box, which are not needed in the system. So and those workflows just go in error because there are no agent determination because they are active but they are not configured. So they don't go to the right agent, right people. So they just start when the document is created and then they just end up in error and your workflow error log table uh, volume grows quite rapidly and then nobody is like especially taking care or checking this regularly yeah, the workflow management and this is like this is a major pitfall that they assume that okay we are not seeing it's not the workflow is not going to any user that means it's not there but it is there but in an error status somewhere consuming your database.
Okay. Um, Very quickly, as sort of a roundup, what where can you go after archiving? What aside from the financial savings, which believe me are very important. Um, Aside from that, what are the major benefits that you've seen clients come back to you with that maybe they didn't know were going to happen? And what's it allowed them to do? I know you mentioned artificial intelligence. How does this work set them up for artificial intelligence?
Yeah. So one like it's not just this financial savings, but also, as I mentioned earlier, that during upgrade, SAP Clean Core approach is to keep the clean core. But if your also database size is in check, you are archiving regularly, then all the CDS views in Fiori, because now with all the transactions they are cloud based, which means they can be opened in browser instead of traditional SAP GUI, this graphical user interface. So in Fiori, this CDS view, when they load in the browser, if your data uh, base size is not in check, they might take a lot of time, performance issues. The upgrade time will be much higher. So these are other benefits that they can achieve apart from financial savings. Then coming to artificial intelligence and all these things, like when your upgrades are easier, you are and you have so many your operation in many countries, so these upgrades when they're easier you are always on the forefront.
Mm.
So you are in you can adapt to the new technology quite faster because your downtime time your scale up time is quite less compared to traditionally what they used to have.
Excellent. Well, thank you, mate. I think
Yes.
I've learned a lot actually about archiving. Um, Certainly about the drivers for why you would do it, and I would find it hard to ignore those drivers. That's a, you know, resource efficiency, time saving, financial savings. There's no reason not to do it. There's absolutely none.
Yeah.
So thank you. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully we can catch up again soon.
Yes, thank you, Jamie, for today. Yes,
Thanks.
thank you. Bye.